Hi, welcome to the channel. This short video will be about for GoPro users, and I'm doing this video because a couple of weeks back I took the GoPro out to a hotel, and I didn't realise, but we had a room with a balcony, and I wanted to do some night lapse shots. Gave it a little go, and it got me quite interested in it. So last couple of weeks, or last week, I've been setting the tripod up every night in the garden, trying to shoot some stars, moving stars, etc. And I came across a few problems. I've been doing a few investigations on the internet, on some Facebook groups and that, and I've come up with a couple of hints and tips for you that you might be interested in, and also some equipment I'm going to use. So this is the equipment I've been using. So I bought myself a Telesin rechargeable tripod mount, which is built-in battery in there. That's a 10,000 mAh milliamp hour battery built into that, and then you plug it into that end there. Now that's fully charged at the moment, and the plan was to put that on top of a tripod. Now, so what I've been using is let me collapse this down. I've had this before because I've done photography work before. I'll collapse it right down. I've got a couple of Manfrotto tripods. This one is the Manfrotto B3 MKBF-RA4. So it's an aluminium tripod, not the carbon one. So it's not that expensive, but it folds up really small. The arms and legs fold that way. So actually, let's just take one leg out like that. There you go. So that's the tripod I've been using. Get some nice steady shots. And I've been using, I think they call it the Arca. I think they call it an Arca Swiss quick release mount on the end there. So on top of that, I've had the Telesin rechargeable selfie stick on top, and then on top of that, initially I had the Volta. Okay, I had a clamp on there for one camera, because this is a dual camera setup, by the way. I had a clamp on there for one camera, a clamp on there, another camera on there for two cameras. One particular night, I had a battery in both cameras, a GoPro battery in both cameras. One particular night I went down in the morning, and for some reason it didn't run on external batteries. I'll speak about that in a moment. It just ran on the GoPro batteries. The GoPro batteries ran out. Of course, they only run for a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, I think. They ran out. I wasn't sure why. Then I decided to take the batteries out and run on external battery packs anyway. Ran down in the morning, picked the camera up. Nothing worked at all. The power banks never worked. Then I discovered what it was. It turns out, I mean, it sounds quite obvious really. If you leave the batteries out of these cameras, which you can do, and use a power bank, the power banks go to sleep. But what I was doing, I was turning the cameras off using a scheduled capture. The idea is that the camera switches on at 2, 3 in the morning and shoots through the rest of the morning to the sunrise. But obviously it wasn't working because the power banks need to have a current drawn through them. If they're not having a current pulled, they switch off, they go into sleep mode. Okay, so what you need to do, you can leave the battery in. Now, I've read up numerous articles on the internet, and there's a bit of a difference of opinion, but you can leave the batteries in these if you've got the latest firmware. GoPro 9, 10, 11, you can leave the battery in if you've got the latest firmware. When it starts recording, it should use external power. Now the other option is 100%. If you want a 100% guarantee it's going to use your external power, you take the battery out, you use a pass-through door like so, and then you use a cable plugged into that. You're guaranteed then it will run through the power pack. What you can't do is turn the camera off. You need to leave the camera on. So that's that. So if you leave the camera on, you can still do scheduled capture, but the camera will be on, and then it will start shooting when you want it to, and it will run through the battery pack. Now the battery pack I'm using now has been recommended to me as an Anchor, which is a good quality make, an Anchor 20,000 milliamp hour battery pack. The reason I'm using this battery pack is really simple. You've got 2 input ports. They do have other battery packs, and I think to me they get a bit complicated. This battery pack is a really simple bit of kit. It's got basically two outputs, USB A which I think run at 2.4, 2.5 amps, which is the requirement for the GoPros. And you've got inputs, USB-C or USB, micro USB. I'm not a fan of micro USB, but USB-C is certainly the one I favour. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. They do other battery packs, dual port ones, where you power it, you get a fancy adapter and you run 2 leads in. You cannot do that with this one. I'll put a link to this below. You cannot do that with this one. You can just charge it with 1 lead, run it overnight, it's fully charged. What I like about it, it's quite simple. It's got 4 lights. Each light represents 25%. So it's easy to check if you've got enough power in there. Okay. Clamps. Now what I've been doing, let's go back to the Taliesin 10,000 mAh battery pack in there as well. Now these, again, this goes to sleep. If you're running this on a camera, it's working and it's drawing current, it's drawing power, but it will not switch the camera on its own, obviously. It goes to sleep. I did come up with an idea. I spoke to someone on Facebook and I wasn't sure if it's going to work or not. I'm going to try it now. I bought this little light. I'm not going to actually use this, but you wanted to keep this awake. Would this little light work? I'm not sure. There you go. The idea was plug this little light in and it'll draw current while I'm using it. I've not tried that yet. That'll be another little test. Excuse me. Take that out. So basically, the little tip I want to give you is plug your power bank into your camera using a pass-through door. You have the battery in or your battery out. It's up to you. If you want to make sure 100% it's going to use external power, leave the battery out of the camera. If you're looking for a USB-C light, that's a little. They do these little lights there, USB atmosphere light. But I don't think we need. I'm not going to use that now. Right. This is the setup I'm going for. So I'll be the Taliesin on a quick release mount, like so. If you're like me and you want to jazz things up a little bit, one point to note first of all, these Taliesin, these come with the adapter on top. That's not the one it comes with. The adapter on the top it came with, to me, curved over too much, and you wasn't able to move the camera about. So the first thing I did was take the end off and put this one on. It's a different type. And if you're into a bit like me, a bit of a tackle type person, because if I do a bit of fishing, everything has to be matching. So I bought the aluminium screws. Most of this stuff is by a company called HSU, so I'll put links below. The screws, I know it's sad, but the screws match the blue on the camera, and so does the lead. So what I'm going to do now is set the tripod up in the corner. We'll bolt it all together and see how it works. If you do buy these screws, by the way, just a point to note, in the box they supply some little small washers, rubber washers. Make sure you put them on. They're not on there already. They're in a little packet in the box. You don't lose them. I nearly threw mine away. Don't lose them. Right. So there's the tripod set up. The Taliesin rechargeable mount will slide on top of there, like so. Obviously you don't need to use that. There's a quarter 20 screw thread inside, female, so it go on any normal mount. But I'm just using the Arca Swiss quick release mount. You don't need to use the quick release mount. I normally have that fully extended. The clamp I'm about to show you will clamp onto this. It won't clamp onto this, it's too thin. It clamps onto that one. So let me just show you what I've got now. These clamps, discovered these the other day. I'd say they're one of the best clamps you can buy. It's a company called HSU. A lot of stuff, I know you got your GoPro equipment, and then you got your Taliesin company, which do a lot of good bits and pieces. Also, there's another company on Amazon. I'll put a link below to this. Another company on Amazon that do called it HSU. That's fantastic. It's not 3D printed. It's like an ABS plastic. Really, really good bit of kit. Amazingly, that one there, the short one, was £19.99, I think it was. Then I saw the next day, I thought they're so good, I'll buy another. Then I saw this one, slightly longer. So grab it while you can, because if you want the long one, so that you get the long one there for £19.99. Again, I'll put a link below. But it also comes with a bag of bits. Not that you want the bag of bits, but you got your 3M stickers, some plastic screws, adapters, mounts, etc. in a bag. So you get for the same price, you get an extra bag of bits as well. So you can't go wrong with that. So what I've decided to do, first of all, I'm using a large, longer clamp. Well, first things first, we'll put one of them on top, and I'm only using I've only got 2 GoPros. I sold one to finance a few bits and pieces, so I'm only going to show you. I'll show you with one camera mounted up there. So put one up there, so put a GoPro up at the top of that mount there. Actually, I'll bring this down so you can see it. There you go. That simply plugs in. That's got no battery in it. That simply plugs in there. Now, it's a bit wobbly because you've got the rubber O-ring there. So that's why I said you need to use your little spanner to tighten that up. But because you've got the O-ring rubber washer there, you've still got a bit of movement there. I'll bring that down a bit lower. Right, there you go. Hopefully you can see it set up. Alright. Now this is the setup I use for my night lapses, but this is like a dual camera setup. So I've got a Telesin 10,000 mAh rechargeable selfie stick, and that's plugged in the top there. You switch that on, and the light should come on. That's it. So you've got 4 LEDs there. I think 3 or 4 LEDs at the bottom. You can't see that's out of camera shot, but that's now switched on. Now I can switch this camera on. No battery inside it. That's now running off the. Sorry, it's plugged in properly. You get a bit finicky sometimes. You do get not enough power. Just got not enough power alarm come up on that. And that's not a fault with the battery packs. That's it's working there. Right, let me just show you there. It's working off of no battery. So if you're going to do a night lapse or time lapse, but if you're going to do a particular night lapse, that's how you want it. You want it switched on, leave it switched on. It says no battery, but it's running off the external battery pack. That external battery pack will stay awake now because it's powering the camera. That's fine. You can now do a scheduled, you can either set it off running now or you can do a scheduled shoot, but you need to leave the camera switched on. You can put the battery back in. If you 9, 10, 11 GoPros, if you've got the updated firmware, you can put the battery back in and leave the battery in. When it starts recording with a scheduled capture, it should run off the external pack. Just double check that. It should run off the external pack. With the battery inside it, if you do a scheduled shoot, turn the camera off, it will switch on, start filming your time lapse, but it will use the battery, the power from the battery inside the camera, not your external battery. The reason is, as I said earlier, these battery packs, the external battery packs go to sleep. That was the idea of me buying this small little light, but I'm probably not going to use that now. What I'm going to do now in the future, I'm probably just going to leave the camera switched on as it is now. Now let me just show you what else I've bought. Let you see that in the shop. Okay, so that's that. Clamp, the second pole down, pipe down. These clamps are brilliant, they really are good. Totally recommend them. That clamps up nicely on there. You can adjust that where you want. Oh, so I'm under the wrong bloody bit. Adjust that where you want. Originally I went on Facebook and I recommended that one. I bought that for some filming on my bike, dual cameras. But I found I had that angled round, but I found that the cameras foul each other. And if you've got them angled away, when you tip it back to get a night shot, they can hit each other. Not as good. These clamps are the ones you want. They are fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. So I'll just show you now. So I'll put another mount on there. As I say, I haven't got another camera to put on it at the moment because I'm filming it. I'm filming them for you guys and girls at the moment. So that goes on there. I love these aluminium screws. Now I can move this around. Anywhere I want. And then obviously you put your camera on top there and aim it up at the stars, right? I'm not going to go into the settings at the moment. Well, I'll briefly touch on the settings, but I'm just going to show you a little setup I use for night lapse shots. Now this is further up in the air. Now with the, I'll just go and grab the box. So the Telesin rechargeable selfie stick comes with the selfie stick you see in front, a cable, but it also comes with a mobile phone holder, right? What you do then, you get your other clamp, screw that onto there, clamp that onto the other bar, as so, like so. Hopefully you can see it's okay. Again, this will all be extended further up. Alright. Battery pack. That's the battery pack you want. I'll put a link to that as well. The Anger battery pack, 20,000 mAh one. That works fine with these GoPros. If you do get a low power alarm on the camera, unplug it, plug it back in a couple of times. There is a slight bug. That's nothing to do with the battery pack. It's nothing to do with the, I think it's to do with the software, the firmware. Make sure you got a proper decent lead. I'll put a link to this lead as well. You want a proper fast charge 3 amp one. Again, this battery pack, I bought this one because you've got 2 out ports, 2 in ports, 2 out ports. Very, very simple. You can't go wrong with this. And it gives you the power supply on there. Plug that in there. Look at that colour, lovely. And that goes like there, clamps in there like so. What I do as well, you can spin that upside down. Right, let's clamp there nicely. Tighten that up, tighten that up. Put the cable nice and neat. Obviously this will be extended up higher. That goes into your other camera. So you have another camera on there like so. Actually I'll just show you that now. So we unplugged this one. So I did have 3 cameras but I sold one. No need for 3 I don't think, but I had the 9, 10, 11 and now I've got just the 10, 11. So let's just assume that camera's still on the top there. This camera can be here. If I've done that wrong, that's fine. That can be aimed where you want, like so. 1 metre length cable is all you need. That plugs into the side of that camera. Again, if I turn that camera on, that's now running. So if you can see that, can I spin that round? That's now running off external battery. Yeah, I think you can see that on the front screen there. That's running off external batteries as well. All colour coded. You can't beat a bit of colour coordination. Again, I'll have this extended. I've only shrunk it down so you can fit it in the screen to film it. So you'd have a camera on top there, aimed up, camera aimed up, battery pack there, ports facing downwards in case you get any rain. All you do then, put a plastic bag over the top. That is it. I was using the Volta, but the Volta I do believe I think it's 14,000 milliamp hour, and to be honest with you, this is a far neater, tidier setup. And you raise it all up like that. I've only done it short because I don't want to get in view. Raise it all up like that. What I've been doing in the past as well, clip the cable through like that, nice and neat. I'll just show you, just undo that. Whack the cable in there. There you go. Again, that will all be extended up nice and neat. Plastic bag over there in case it rains. 1 camera on there, run off an external battery. 1 camera off there, run off external battery. Settings, I've been told 5,000, white balance 5,000K. You can do photographs or video. Photographs, I think you get better video, you get better quality, but I've been doing video lately. I'm still playing about with the settings. Duration, I've been doing unlimited. Schedule capture, again, you can do schedule capture, but you need to leave the camera switched on and just time it to start when you want. Don't turn the cameras off, because if you do turn the cameras off, as I said earlier, it won't switch on and run off the batteries, the external batteries. If you've got internal batteries, if you're using this setup and you've got internal batteries, as I said before, to be clear, if you've got internal batteries put in and you put schedule capture and you switch the cameras off, the cameras will switch on. They'll go do the schedule capture shooting, they'll start shooting, but they'll only run off the internal batteries, they won't run off the external batteries. I think with a Volta it might run off both, I'm not 100% sure. Settings, 5000K white balance. I've been using video mode at the moment. White balance, been using ISO I've been using max min 800. I'm still playing about the settings at the moment. I've been copying other people really, intervals, auto, and someone spoke to me the other day, I spoke to someone on Facebook the other day to find out what the interval work was. What happens is you got shutter or interval, so if it's dark you want really less moon so you get more stars. So it's really dark, you want 30 seconds shutter, so it's 30 seconds exposure, so it opens the lens. If this was an old-fashioned, let's unplug this for now, if this was an old-fashioned camera, 30 seconds basically, it's electronic, but 30 seconds basically means it opens the lens for 30 seconds, lets in loads of light and takes the shot. Interval means that the GoPro works out how many shots it wants you to do throughout the night and day to get the best exposure, so that will vary, but I've been doing that at the moment. We'll see how it goes. You need to experiment with the settings really. That's my setup. Any questions, feel free to comment below. I think it looks pretty good. I think you'll agree, I think it looks nuts. I love a bit of colour coordination. Links below, there'll be Amazon affiliated links, so if it costs you no more if you use the links, so please use the links if you're going to buy any of this stuff. Support the channel. I get a couple of pence commission out of it, not a lot, but it's really negligible, but it all sort of helps. Anchor power pack, I went for the Anchor power pack. I know it works with the camera without batteries. Anchor's a good mate to do the bigger power packs as well. The lead's got to be, I think it's a 3 amp lead, it's got to be a fast charge. You want a decent lead, otherwise it won't work properly. And little fancy screws if you want them. They're made by, most of these are made by HSU, the clamps are made by HSU. Rechargeable selfie sticks, Telesin so far, and then you get your little span of the screws as well, tying it all up. I think you'll agree, I think it looks nuts. Thanks for watching. It's not a GoPro channel by any means, it's a bit of everything, but if you're into GoPros, maybe you're into carp fishing and you want to get a GoPro camera for your carp fishing, feel free to like, subscribe, put some comments below. I'm here to help anyone out. Hope you enjoyed that video and I hope it helps. I'm still learning, still doing trying to get me the best night lapse shots at the moment. The weather in the UK has been really cloudy, but I can't wait for the clearer skies and get out there. I'm ready. 2 cameras, external battery pack and the Telesin, so I've got 20,000 milliamps on that one, 10,000 milliamps on that one, scheduled capture. Let's see if we can get some decent shots. It takes all night to get like half a minute or something. It's ridiculous really, but it's worth doing it. They look awesome when you get a good shot. You never know what you might catch at night when you're asleep. Please like, subscribe. If you've got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. I've done quite a bit of research this lately, so I sort of know what I'm doing regarding the external batteries and time lapses, etc. So feel free to ask a question below. I'll do my best to answer. Thank you. Bye bye.